Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne with Back to Earth Creations and welcome to today's live stream. We are doing a little bit of craft therapy today, just when in doubt, craft it out, and also making some custom jewelry for our first custom client since my hand injury. So I'm really kind of excited about this. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, all in all, I'm feeling pretty good. Like, I'm a little stiff and swollen and stuff this morning, but that's okay. These things happen. Hey, Al, how are you doing today? And so, also, just to bring this up to if you're a new viewer and you haven't been to one of our live streams before, this is not a tutorial. This is much more of a craft room, like craft room and chill hangout, where folks can just pop in and say hey and ask any questions, or just kind of connect a bit before getting on with your day. This is just my regular day in the workshop, and it's a joy to me to get to share it to you guys. So thank you for being here. Hey, Witch and Gnome, good Tuesday afternoon to everyone, right? Oh my gosh, y'all. If y'all were part of that storm cell last night that was kind of passing through, I hope all y'all are doing okay. We had quite a bit of tornadoes touchdown. Like, there was a tornado touchdown in like 4 streets over from where our friends live. Sorry. I'm doing some administrative things and talking at the same time, so optimal efficiency. Hey Sherry, hey Kristen, hey Lisa, hey Mama Kay. Said hi all, been a long time since I've caught a live. Gosh, how long has it been now, Kristen? It's good to see you though. I hope you've been doing well. Hey Anita. Okay, and it's doing the thing again where I've got to go into bot tricks. The power went out last night, and I think I'm developing, like, I'm seeing a pattern between when the power goes out, the computer goes off, I have to reset up my bot tricks. Note to self. There we go. Widgets. Fortunately, Randy's walked me through this enough times that I think I have it figured out. We'll see. We'll see. How do I put this in? All chats, properties. Let's see if that works. Woo, bitchin'. Hey, Joe. Joseph Vaughn. How you doing today? I'm doing pretty well. Witch and Gnome says, so started another pendant wrap the other day, planning to shape into a guitar, but that will possibly be a tomorrow thing, my one day off this week, if I have time to work on it. Gotcha. Oh, that's exciting, though. String says, I was watching the weather guy last night and paying attention. Right on. Can we get a test over on YouTube? Boo. I don't know how to. Give me just a sec, y'all. I'm trying to figure out how to make my bot tricks. And then I click this. And then I click properties. And then I click that. And then I click Control A and Control V. Ooh, Gisela says, hey, it's been a minute. I fell off the scooters in downtown. Oh no, so my leg is swollen. Oh my gosh, we'll be able to get to work for a while. So this video came just in time. Oh my gosh, but look, a distraction. Oh, Kristen says, years, I'm sad to say, been focused on building my baking business and had to step away from crafts. Baking is a craft in and of its own. Oh, that sounds so exciting, Kristen. Ooh, hey, Christy. Christy says, your setup for the last market was absolutely wild. I didn't realize how much you had in your show. Thank you. It's our life's work, and I'm glad you like it. We know. Botrix has joined. Okay. I don't know what I did or why it took so long, and part of me secretly feels like Randy's in the other room, um, fixing Botrix for me. Oh, my sweet dear. Okay. There we go. Kick has pop out chat? I have learned a thing this day. Can I click control and zoom in? Oh, I can make the text big so I can read it? Okay, sorry guys. I'm kind of figuring out how to use a computer. So give me just a sec. Okay, it's in live chat. And if I now see on YouTube, if I click control and zoom in, it doesn't. Okay. Okay. I am here and ready to focus. Kind of, as soon as I do one more thing. Okay. There we go. Cat and Cauldron says, good morning, Vaughn. Good morning, Cat. Glad to see you and Randy are okay after the wild weather last night. We were bracing for it to hit at like 9:30, and it didn't until 11:30. So other than having to get Randy kind of up and out of bed, and we went and we hung out in the basement for about 30 minutes and like texted like all our local folks and was like, y'all okay? And kind of just did that whole thing, and then the power was out, so we were staying up, and I lit the stove and we made some toasted croissants with like Nutella drizzled on them, just as like a nice little we lived like celebration of making it through the storm last night. Oh, Witchy Gnome says, but wanted to stop in and catch up with all of you guys before I head to work in the next hour. All right on, Witchy Gnome. You're working so hard and you're doing so good. Like, we miss you, but we're proud of you. Like, I hope you know. What's up, BB? Ow. Oh, right on, Strings. Oh, goodness. Knock yourself. Okay. Gosh, I hope you heal up well, Gisela, from falling. Lisa says, I have to go at 1 to get ready and go back to work. Ooh, right on. Christy says, do you still make your grooved caps? I haven't in a while, again, because of my hand injury. And I don't know if y'all have noticed, but like these 2 fingers have just been kind of screwed up, like the fingernails. So I have these finger cots that I'm going to be wearing that should help. Here, I need to, while we chit chat, I'm going to be getting my work surface a little more cleared up. So if y'all are crafting along with me today, let's go ahead and tidy up a few things. So clear the canvas so we can make a fresh batch of chaos. Actually, I don't. Can y'all hear my necklace jingling? Southeastern Minnesota had thunderstorms this morning. Oh, Mama Kay says, hey, Priscilla. Mama Kay says, Colorado had high winds, 60 miles per hour yesterday. A lot of power outages, trees down. Hey, Christina. Chewy. And Michelle says, love fresh chaos. Me too. And I can't wait to show y'all these beautiful stones that they have entrusted to me. Okay. So this is where I would put, I'm going to put together a take upstairs tonight bin. I'm going to be making this. I'm going to be making some rings. Ring. Witchy Gnome asks, are you making more rings today? Yes, but not in the stream. Today in the stream, we are going to be making some custom wire wraps for Stephanie and Rick, our new friends well, that we met at Anime St. Louis. I don't recall if they're in the St. Louis area. I think they are, because she was able to just like go home and get but I am making some custom earrings and a custom pendant out of these beautiful fluorites, y'all. Like that, and they're so cool. And she doesn't have piercings, so I'm gonna make them as ear cuffs. So that's that. And I'm very, very excited to be. And then there's a wrap that I'm going to be doing for this, like just intensely gorgeous. Let me see if I can zoom in just a little. I don't know if the camera's going to do it justice. Just the way that the lensing and depth into this cabochon, because I think this is a quartz. Like it's I don't know what kind though, but the cab job on it is amazing. But it's so pretty, y'all. And again, with the lighting and stuff, it doesn't really do justice to it. Hey, Penny Van. It's so good to know that you're here with us. Oh, I hope you're doing all right. But again, today is craft therapy. When in doubt, we're just going to craft it out. Y'all want to see some beads? Are you ready? Ah! Right, Michelle? Michelle says that's freaking beautiful. And I don't know if it's an agate or a quartz or what. No. These are from a while back. They're not all of these that I'm about to show you are just from our most recent porch session. Some of these are from Anime St. like way before, like 3 weeks before Anime St. Louis in the long, long ago. But yeah, we did a little bit of like an implosion flower, and I tried to do like a whole set, but all of them came out just a little scuzzy on the surface. I don't know if I was scorching my clear or like what. Maybe they're just dirty. I don't know. Garden quartz. Okay, thank you, Anika. Hey, Viking. Looks like a biosphere. Exactly, Christina. But yeah, so there's these ones that I think I'm going to put up as a set on the website, because we did a new shop update yesterday. We've got all sorts of beautiful new labradorite cabochons, as well as some more of our own home fused glass. But yeah, so I'm just going to show y'all real quick. Oh, I loved the bubble in that one. That really came out cool. And then these are some of the mushrooms that I just didn't have ready in time for Anime St. Louis. Like they got everything but done. And so they just didn't make it in time. But now we're that much more ahead for DragonCon. And then we got some dummy thick little mushroom beads. Look at these little chonkers. But yeah, see how like they've got the little texture on the bottom? The little stubby bubbies. I love them. And then we have this one with the dots. Oh, that made me so happy. I'm supposed to be crafting. Could you tell I'm procrastinating? But also, look at these beautiful beads. Yeah, the owl eye. Hey, Reduce It. How's it going? And then, oh, what a cutie patootie. This is the one that looked like a Christmas tree, I think y'all were saying. I kind of like it. Doesn't look too Christmassy now, I think. Now that the glass is cooled. I really like this one, that encasing. Like I like popping the clear down onto it. I popped a little too hard, but that's okay. Oh, I like that too, that little color gradient. Witch and Gnome says, the pendant I'm working on uses one of your teardrop-shaped calves. Ah, that has shades of purple, green, and white glass melted in. Oh, I can't wait to see how that comes out, Witch and Gnome. Hey, Pugs! Uh-oh. Ugh. A seizure. No. Oops. There we go. Yeah. Let me oh my god. It says it's deleted. Okay, there we go. Walk in the Rain says, did you make that owl eye on purpose? Might it become a choice? I'm going to be honest with you. I was trying to make a flower. But that came out like a super cool owl eye, though. Because you can kind of see on the side how I was trying to do like 3-dimensional petals. All right, I'm going to have to spam my chat feed because even though it's deleted on the main screen, it's still like, that's so rude. I hit my own emoji limit. Uh-oh, there we go. Thank you guys. Now it's flashing with good vibes. I like that. Look at this green one. And by the way, all of y'all are still supposed to be cleaning your work surfaces. That's today's first assignment. But oh, look at this guy with the little dots. Oh, I do enjoy that one as well. And I loved trying to make the bail match a little too. And then this guy, oh, I love that Lausha red. Like that's so cool. I can't believe I made these, you guys. And then look at this one, this bead with the teal and the little raised drops. And I like to do another check over because I want to make sure that none of them have any cracks. Oh, that orange with the turquoise looks really cool. And I love using the translucent because it's not really showing to the computer, like to the camera, but it has this little bit, some light transference does go through it. Okay, we're going to be a little quick about these next ones. Right? Oh, the mushroom beads are super cool. Well, thank you guys. So, okay, well, I was going to show, I need to pull out, there are some of these that we had made to be like a necklace set. Because I wanted to experiment with if someone wanted a custom like necklace set in this style. Man, though, Randy and I were taking a look around the neighborhood this morning, and like we got really lucky from the storms last night. We don't have any trees down, knock on wood. Like everything's more or less okay. So, Walk in the Rain says slow bead viewing is good. Just saying. That's fair, but I really, these are intended as a set. I don't know, I kind of like it. It looks like a, y'all, it looks like a caterpillar. Oh, we need to make chubby little caterpillar, like desk critters. So you could make a little caterpillar out of these and like set it on top of your computer. And if it's wire wrapped, we might be able to pose it a bit. We'll throw some beads around. I really like that idea, but I'll need to figure out how to make their little lampwork faces. I love the turquoise with that antique ivory because it gives these reaction lines. And this one I was experimenting with feathering. It's interesting for sure. I kind of like the ends of the feathered ones more than the sides. So I'd like to start building up some like donut beads because I love donut beads. We will be, Michelle. We'll be putting these up on the site. And then these ones, I tried to make a matching pair. And it's not perfect, but it's the best I've ever done. But I wanted to make a matching pair of like little cubes. And then these guys are an earring pair. I think that'll be super cute. And then these guys, they're like friendship necklaces. They're not quite close enough to be an earring pair. But they could be. Kind of depends on which angle you're looking at it from. I really love those. Sorry, I'm going to try to be on the correct side of the... Kristen says, it does. I would have to style him with Alice in Wonderland vibes. Oh my gosh. Gosh, we could just put him on like a freaking pipe cleaner or something. Like, it doesn't have to be... Oh, wow. Now we've got... Okay. So this was something I was doing an experiment, and I was trying to make, because we wanted to make a good peridot green, and I really need to start keeping a notebook of like just notes just over on my lamp brick area, specifically so that I can remember what colors I've been using and how and why I do anything that I do. So because, and then just keeping them over. So yeah, these two are slightly different, very, very slightly. I don't know if you can see. It's subtle, but it's there. So I've grabbed one of each, and you may be able to tell. Super subtle, but I really like it. I wanted to show the difference between having a white core and having just the translucent bead. It gives two very different effects. I don't necessarily feel like one is correct over the other. It's just whenever we're designing a piece, one look might match what we're going for more than another. And then this is a piece as well with I think it's wisteria. Sorry, y'all. I'm in like bead heaven right now. Yeah, wisteria, where this one, I love the white core in the wisteria, the way it kind of glows out. But then this is it with no core. So it's a much more murky. It doesn't quite have the clarity of that green. And so with this one, it lets me know that I like this one. I don't know. I can't pick a favorite. I like them both. And here's just some freebies probably that I'll give away. But that's with that butternut. That's the Lausha butternut. And then this one, we were just doing the clear with the frit. But are you able to see? I mean, I love the way that you can kind of see into the beads sometimes and see these like little patternings and stuff. Into the depth of the bead. I kind of want to make just some giant beads. Okay, so now or like something. So now we're getting into the beads that we had done this past Saturday. Kristen says, "Girl, I keep a notebook in my kitchen for recipe experiments. What did I do? Did it work? Should I change next time?" Now that's a good idea too. But it's like now I need a notebook for like everything in my life. Oh wow, I love notebooks. So the novelty red beads. Oh, an ocean bead. Oh, thank you, Witchinome. Says such cool sets you put together. I'm enjoying these, and I'm really getting into it, like enjoying the craft therapy of just pretty bead, pretty bead. Here, this may be a little easier to hold on to. Also, I've got to drink some water. Apparently, you can't just eat a McDonald's cheeseburger and half a family-sized bag of Doritos when you're in your mid-30s, because like I am so swollen today. I'm not going to learn my lesson, but I am going to try to hydrate at least. Hey Lydia, how are you doing? So these ones came out pretty cool. That's that olive Nera, I think we were doing for the core. Put those in there. This is the spitter butt. I can kind of, in the way that you can tell that a child's drawing is supposed to be a house with like the family with a dog outside of it and a tree and the sun in the sky, I can kind of tell that this is a spider butt. Like if somebody was like, yeah, it's one of those, Anika, what are you doing? Thank you so much, Anika. Wow, 10 subs. Oh, thank you so much. Which I don't even have my audio on, so I can't hear. Randy set me up all sorts of different fun noises. Oh, Anika says if I can't spend my money on your beads. Oh, oh shucks. Well, thank you so much. But yeah, it's a spider butt. Or it's supposed to be. And I kind of think that's like the deadlights from the spider from It. So, but then it's got like this swirly kind of. I don't know. That's okay. I'm gonna be kinder to myself. That's pretty cool. Let's not be super critical of our work today. And I'm saying that for my benefit more than y'all's, but maybe you need to hear it too. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to sell this one as a trio. Look at these. None of them are the same size. They'll be perfect. Widgeonum says, after eating Mickey D for 13 years almost every day, I'm so glad I don't anymore. I feel so much healthier now. Yeah, we were going like the lazy route. Yesterday was intense, y'all. So I thought I would be like, okay, yeah, I'll eat a McDonald's cheeseburger because Randy was going to pick Abby up from work. And they got my order wrong again. And it's like it's fine. It's just every single time. And so I don't know what I expected. But and then so I was still hungry because most of my order wasn't there. Um, so then I was eating like some junk food and stuff. But yesterday, oh, the computer it started making a noise. I guess there's some lag going on. Hey Erica, hey Joshua. If you could be not today. I'm sorry. um Suddenly wanting to toss my Taco Bell in the trash. If it's worth it, Taco Bell, if it tastes good, then it's worth it. But my dinner did not even taste good. And I'm like, dang it. I just wanted it to be delicious. But yesterday, I think I overdid it because from almost sun up to sundown, I was in the garden. And it was a lot of fun, y'all. Like a ton of fun. We have a lawnmower now. And so I was mowing the grass. And I got like, but it has like the catch basket. So I'd like get a bunch of it and then go and like dump it in the chicken coop. And the day started with Randy taking us to Lowe's and we got a bunch of straw bales because we're making a new raised bed for the sweet potatoes and watermelons that we've decided to put in on like the back part of the driveway because we don't really use that as a drive through part of the driveway anymore. Now that we're in the new van. Lil Sprite says, I didn't really think I liked yellow much, but I love it with the black the way you have them. Right? And it makes it look like an earthier, like a very natural yellow, I think. And that might even be a green. I don't know. Color theory. Wow, a happy crafter for 6 months, Lydia. Oh no, not fair. Yes, exactly. But so I got the bed set up and Randy was helping me, but there was a lot of it that I do just because I want to, but even though it's hard. And so that was clipping back all of like the overgrowth on some of like the thicker weeds. Like there's like box elders, all the like we call them trash trees. And it's like they're the trees that got root in like the fence line and I can't get them to stop growing. Hey Sherry, how's it going? And and so just clipping all that back and I was putting it into like we're using the straw bales to be the sides of the raised beds and that way next year we'll get the boards, kind of squish it all in together and put the boards around it and it'll have built up the soil in this area. Oh my goodness, it's little, absolutely love it. And then we've got this one here, but it was just exhausting and it was hot and but I got it filled up, but everything's so wet that I didn't want to dig up our compost pile to move it into the thing. And then it rained again last night. So it may be look at this. You see that? Like just that swirling of the orange. That's that Lausha orange again. Orange again, you guys. That's so pretty. And that's the benefit of using a rod that has layering. So even though it pops on me a lot, it's really good. Like, I think it's worth it to get that effect. Oh, that's so pretty. And we've got this one here. But yeah, just a busy day in the garden. Oh no, I set this one in the kiln while it was still too soft, and now it's got like a little birthmark. Ah, heck. It'll sit flat though, that's for sure. Well, that's all right. I did that to this one too. Okay, new rule. I've got to just set them onto the the racks because I can't be leaving kiln fingerprints on all of our beads. How many did this happen to? I hope not all of them. No, this one's good. Okay. I love those stacked dots. That makes me so happy. Personality. Says Walk in the Rain. Ooh, Witch and Gnome says, so the new mower, an old school manual push, no gas or other power source besides your own body walking and pushing it? No. Randy and I have had real mowers in the past, like REEL. They're the ones that are 100% Vaughn powered. If I'm the one pushing it, that's one Vaughn power instead of 1 horsepower. And we were using it on our 2 acres in Tennessee, and it had taken me 2 weeks of like hitting it here and hitting it there to get halfway through just the front yard. And the neighbor took mercy and came over and just used his riding mower and mowed like our whole front yard that basically looked like a hay field at that point, in like 10 minutes. And his wife was real sweet and she was just chit-chatting with us, but like, no, I don't use a real mower. But this one that we're using now is one of those electric mowers that just runs on a big old battery. So I feel like I'm just vacuuming my backyard and the bag keeps filling up, so I have to go give it to the chickens. But I was journaling last night after the storm, and I had asked Randy what he wanted to remember from today, because I like to like leave little memories, you know, because every once in a while we'll flip. Oh, I love that. We'll flip through my journal and I'll read him, you know, an entry from like a couple years ago, and we'll get to remember that day together. And I'd asked him what he wanted to remember, and he was like, the pure joy on your face as you used your new lawnmower. Because it's not like self-propelled, like if you're not pushing it, it's not going, but that's fine. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, I love, like, that's so cool. And using the red translucent or the orange translucent, I think actually on top of this gave us that really nice kind of gradient. So I'm totally digging that. Well, thank you, Lydia. Says those bumpy beads are my favorite, Vaughn. Going live tonight at 8 p.m. on TikTok provided no camera issues. Ooh, we'll have to keep an eye out, Lydia. Michelle says, and we have a battery mower as well. Nice. Even with our tractor mower, it takes a bit to mow. Yeah. And so I had started with the ideal, like in my mind, oh yeah, 100%. I was using one of those real mowers. But in the reality of it, I'm like, yo, I live in the future and I'm going to use an electric lawnmower because it looks like candy, right, Dan? But I love the stacks and it made it such a nice square bead. So I think I want to start getting to where I can make these a little bigger, because wouldn't that be a cool like donut, you know? Hey art girl, we're barely even getting started. Wish my neighbor had a bat mower. What's a bat? Oh, like a battery. Sorry, I was like Batman, but stack them. Woo! Wait, do you mean like this? I just wanted to play with the beads. We have 4 more beads and then I can get to work maybe. Oh, that's another one with the feathering. Totally digging it. But and then I went through and I weeded the walkway around. Like if y'all follow along with the Monster vlog, we've got like the chicken coop is here, and then like the back corner of the backyard we have a little like sitting deck, and then we've got a lily bed, a dwarf cherry tree, and like the Jerusalem artichokes. I'm not even in frame. Oh my gosh. Jerusalem artichokes, and then over here Sam is laid to rest. And there's a big old broccoli bed right in the middle of like that square area, and so I was able to go through and weed that whole loop, not just the walking path but the beds themselves also. Oof. Ooh, if I made more of those square ones and stacked them, that would be really cool. It'd be a fun like fiddly necklace too. But and that was like just it was so nice. Like I was just hands and knees running around going through. Felt like a groundhog. um but it was a really nice day in the garden, but I was completely exhausted, so I think I'm all swollen and exhausted from that. It's so pretty. Y'all see that? Like, I just seeing it with my eyeballs and looking at it through the camera lens just is not the same experience. Like, not even slightly. So there's that one, and then the last bumpy one, which these were a lot of fun too. Which we're going to be sending out these bumpy ones, hopefully. We'll be sending out that color scheme of lamport glass in our June craft along kits. Gotcha, yeah. Cat and Cauldron says, I love that you experience pure joy being able to mow your yard. Well, it's everything's about mindset, and so if I focus on how miserable it is, then that's going to be my takeaway. Whereas if I focus on how fun it is to take the like the clippings to the chickens, and how I'm taking care of the space that I enjoy being in, like blah 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 positive mindset stuff, then it's awesome. Ooh, and this is the leaf we had made, you guys. That, and I love getting to play with a new toy, and so having a new lawnmower that like works is amazing. Oh no, Shanika says I'm struggling to keep a cactus alive. I think my apartment doesn't get enough sun. Ooh, no, that can be a real obstacle in trying to grow things. But in cactuses, I do think they like a lot of sun. I've never successfully kept one myself alive, but I'm pretty sure they like sunny and dry. You may want to look into like a pothos, which is like this leafy vining plant that does really well, even if it's only light, is like office light. They can still do well. All right, you guys. So getting into the fun part. What am I talking about? That was a blast. Also, I've sprouted more bobby pins. So here I have these two stones that are a beautiful fluorite. That these stones were provided to me, and I just want to let y'all know we are kind of like low key accepting custom orders currently. So if you have a specific wrap in mind, or something chainmail, or something leather even, please do feel free to send us an email to backtoearthcreations@yahoo.com with a description of what you're interested in. So like what stone, what shape, what metal tone, and as well as what kind of price range you're interested in staying within. And then we can draw you up some custom designs and see if any of them strike your fancy, and then we'll go from there. It's shaped like a Cheez-It. Oh yeah, I can see that, Shanika, that square bead. Hey Jess, how's it going? Mama K says, wish I was still able to do gardening. Oh, is it? There can be a lot of factors that can keep a garden from happening. Art Girl says, I really love the large opening. Yeah, I like those big. It's not a. I like those big holes in my beads. Like these are fluorite gemstones. Hey Tashers. Witchin' Gnome says guitar. Right on. But I'm trying to find something that I can put behind it that'll help show its color. Isn't that just gorgeous though? The banding in that. And so the way that I am planning on wrapping these is I'm going to do a square wire wrap on this one where it comes down and it's kind of woven together. So the wires that I'm going to be using for this, and then this is the style of ear cuff that the client wants it attached to. And I think that's going to be perfect. So, oh, well, thank you guys. One day I'll get you to make an unofficial tutorial for a guitar pendant. You may be able to get me to make an official one. We'll see, because Mama needs content. But no, I'm excited to be doing custom projects again because, well, I don't have to come up with the whole thing on my own. It's kind of like being like, hey, what should I make a video about? And then I just do that. So it puts a little less on my plate, and I get to be challenged and kind of hopefully keep up with it. So Sherry says, the nice thing about mowing the lawn is looking at it afterwards and knowing that you've accomplished something. Just finished mowing my lawn this morning. Nice. And I love it. I love playing in my dirt in the backyard. Okay, so we have an 18 gauge here, half round. We have, let us look for, all right, y'all, it's rummaging time. I'm gonna go over here. Gotta switch my drums. I'm gonna open this and let's see. Do I have, there's a 21 gauge half round. Do I have a 20 gauge square? I'm always running, or I guess it would be a 21 gauge square. A rump and grumble. What's that? Nope. Nope. Harumph and grumble again. Thrice I say harumph and grumble. Well, shit. 21 gauge half round. Well, I got a bunch of the 21 gauge half round. Maybe I can rummage in our shop. I'm gonna go see what I can pull from the website. One last. Nope, that's half round. Okay. So we have some 18 gauge half round and we've got some 21 gauge half round. And I'm going to see. I think I'm going to use a copper. Because I think I wrote down that it would be antique copper. I should have taken better notes because I'm trying to remember what we had talked about. I'm going to prototype one at least. And so this is a 21 gauge square in bare copper. Now, typically I don't mind using bare copper for like something like earrings because it's not going to be coming into direct contact with the skin. And we're going to pull some of this off. Hey, Barfus, how's it going? Oh my gosh, Art Girl says 60-mile-per-hour gusts flying my deck furniture around. Oh no. Oh, I hope you're going to be okay. Ooh, Dan says I got 8 pieces of tiger iron that I need to wrap. Busy, busy. So I'm going to cut 4 of these, but since I'm trying to make earrings, I'm going to cut 8. There's 2. But yeah, I can hear the chainsaws in the distance. Some trees came down in the neighbors' yards. Fortunately, it didn't look like any of their houses had been like hit by the trees. So that's good. 4, 5. Oh. 6. 7 and 8. So this is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are 8 10-inch sections of 21 gauge square. Oh, well, thank you. Anika says, I just remembered off YouTube to click the like button, BRB. Oh, Tasha says one of those moments where you're like, I'm gonna remember that, no problem, and then immediately forget. You know, she had wrote it down. If so, dude, that's a whole mood. No, that's my whole career. That's why I normally get this stuff established in like emails. And the thing is I'm pretty sure we did, and I just forgot again. So I think I'm gonna try going with the Hey, Southern Unique says, "Oh my God, Vaughn, it's been so long since I caught you live. I built a whole career off inspiration from you. Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations and welcome back. How are you?" Like, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. 2018 seems like a year and a half ago. Like to me in my mind, I couldn't believe Randy had pulled up one of our live streams the other day, and it was one of our 2018 ones, and I was time has flown, but we're still here. We're still doing our thing, and we're still here for you. Okay, so we're coming through, and I'm making sure to attach the flat side of the half round wire to our square wires. And I love square for this because you can see how they're just sitting right next to each other, hopefully. Great. I'm so proud of you. Well, thank you. What are you up to today? How are you doing? Ian says they're calling for 100 tomorrow in Tampa. Degrees? Ooh. May I ask where you order those gemstones? These I did not order. These were provided to me by the clients, and I think they got them at a gem and mineral show. So there's 4, there's 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10. But I want the wire to finish on the same side. And I'm going to squish that away, squishing them together, and then I'm going to squish this way. Breakfast says it's just very busy lately. Right on. Time does go by so fast. And so now I'm going to do that same thing to the other side, because even though these two stones are a little different, I can make them look more symmetrical by doing kind of the same step on each side. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side, and I'm going to aim for it, and see there it just all bunched up. If that happens to you, you can just use your flat nose pliers and kind of smush that on down. There we go. So that's 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And let me count on this side because I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 8 and 9 and 10. There we go. Okay. And again, it got a little bunched up on itself there at the end. That's okay. We'll just squish it and smush it. Shanika says, I wish I was brave enough to live stream. It might help my fledgling business. I think you should give it a try. If you have it in your heart to give it a try, do that. Because especially like on like if you can stream on TikTok or like Facebook or Instagram live or YouTube or anything like that, you have complete control in this situation. Like there's nothing to be, you don't have to put your face on camera. Like I'm just a big old ham and cheese sandwich. Like I'm hammy and I'm cheesy. So that's why but it's, you don't have to do it any way other than what you feel comfortable with. And they are southern. These are fluorite, and they're gorgeous. They're stunning. And then if anybody's rude or mean or anything, which truly that doesn't happen as much. Like we get like some like low level trolls. It's very rare that somebody comes through who's genuinely mean. Like, so if you just prepare yourself like mentally to not take any of that mean stuff personally, because a lot of it doesn't have anything to do about us. Like, it's more about the troll, you know. Like if people are going through saying mean things in people's live streams, that's a them problem, because we can ban them and they still have to deal with them, but we don't. So there's that. And we have done both of these to the same size. Look at us go. Organic says, I have gamer's desk using and still need a bigger desk for all my jewelry and tools, or buy more drawer storage. It's a constant struggle, I think. But it's the fun is in the struggling or in the journey. All right. So we have that going. So now I am going to use my flat nose pliers to hold about in the middle, and we are going to bend to try to match the angle of the tip of our piece. You can see this is still significantly wider than what it needs to be. Art Girl says, Vaughn, what type jewelry pieces did your client order? These are earrings that are for, well, it's a pair of earrings and dependent, but we're currently working on the earrings that are for a person who does not have their ear pierced or ears pierced. So we're making essentially two really nice pendants and attaching them to this style of ear cuff. Sherry B says, craft creep, it's real. Start with a desktop. Next thing you know, it's taken over the room and spilled down the hall. It's like kudzu. You're not wrong at all. Oh, goodness. Okay. So now from here, I would like to do from like this part to here, like to do like a centimeter of the same style of wrapping, which we are using that 21 gauge, which I'm pretty pleased with. I think the 18 would have really bulked it up, which for a pendant may have been nice, but for earrings, I want to try keeping it very small. And I know I'm reaching the stage in my, I guess, life that I'm going to start just retelling all the same stories I've already told. But so if y'all have heard this on an older video, well, I hope I'm still remembering correctly. But when we started our business, we were in our 1-bedroom apartment, and the bedroom was the craft room, and we had this like it was one of those accordion doored closets that the accordion door had broken off of decades ago, like avocado green, harvest gold appliances. Like, I loved it. But it was a little run down, but I felt at home there. So we pushed the bed into the closet that like took up like the whole wall, but it was the closet depth. And then the whole rest of the room was devoted to like crafting. And shortly, like there was not a long time that I was crafting before I started trying to like make money because beads, I needed more beads. And I've been just on that kick for a while. I always say crafters are just hoarders with a purpose. Well, yes. But the first couple of bead trays that we had gotten were like, I'd be sitting in bed and crafting, and I'd be going to bed, so I'd like just set it on the floor next to the bed. And Randy was so patient, but like he was like, this is starting to be we've got to figure something out. Whenever like he'd get out of bed in the morning, take a step or two, and step in a tray of beads. Welcome back, Joe. Tasha says cuddles up with a blankie. Ooh, I love this story. But it's a slippery slope, y'all. I get so caught up in the feeling of remembering it, because it was just a lifetime ago at this point, and you never know which memories are going to stick, you know? So I'm really glad we've got the ones that we've got, but I'm just wondering what all I might have forgotten. That's okay. I feel like they're all paint strokes in this impressionistic painting, Sometimes the details get a little blurry, but the gist is there. If you're not hoarding in this profession, you're doing it wrong. Like, quite literally, buying in bulk is economical. But no, it's what a whirlwind. Okay, so I think I'm going to need more than this little bit that we have here to do the other side. And I haven't really decided which side's the front yet. So these things can be decided later. They don't have to be decided right this second. Oh, goodness. Witch and Gnome says there have been times when the witch has woken me up in my recliner with wire laying on my chest when I was working third shift. Yeah. Oh, we had one of our family members over for dinner one evening, and like we put a movie on, and I had made like steaks, and like it was like the first steak dinner that like I'd invited other humans to come eat with us. Um, and Randy fell asleep with his plate in his lap. He was working third shift at Walmart at this time, but so his cousin and I just hung out and like watched the movie with Randy asleep in the recliner with his plate in his lap, and he woke up when I was taking his plate to go like put it in the microwave, so it would like not get like dog hair in it while he slept. But he just went like he still had a bite of food in his mouth. Like, third shift, man, it can be pretty rough. It can be pretty rough. Ooh, Kristen says, I've been baking for 3 years, and every now and then I have to move a half-finished fairy house or a box of clay earring bits. Nice. That's so cool. So do you specialize in any particular kind of cake, or do you do just do you do it all? Like, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then just coming around to 8, 9, and 10, and then just pressing it around because I want to trim the little wire ends to where they'll be sandwiched between the stone and the wire, because that's less pokey bits. Shanika says, I'm a baker by day. I have to support my crafting somehow. Shanika says, I finally have a dedicated space for my crafting. It's just a desk, but I don't have to work at the dining room table anymore unless I'm painting. That's having a specific workplace is luxury. Reduce it so seriously, Joe. I was on Twitch trying to find creatives to follow, and I saw your name and thought, if I follow this creator, is Joe going to think I'm stalking him? Oh, heck, I missed your stream again, didn't I, Joe? Oh. Y'all, I'm the worst sort of friend. I really am. The problem with third shift is trying to fall asleep right after you see the sun come up. Yeah. Kristen says, a little bit of it all. Custom cakes and decorated sugar cookies are the bread and butter. Let me stay home with my toddler. Oh, that's awesome, Kristen. Right on. Joe says, I think I could handle third shift. My body naturally wants to be up from 12 a.m. to sunrise. And I respect that. Then, like, night owls are a very real, valid thing. I don't think, I think Randy was working too hard. And so what sleep he was getting, and then he was also making sure that I was finishing high school. So he was basically single dadding me, like going to work and keeping everything paid and making sure. And I was not an easy person to make go to school. So, bye, Lisa. Have a great rest of your day. Drive safe. But I was doing them in like. Walk in the Rains is my favorite shift the second I could stay up and sleep in and never miss work. Nice. I'll definitely have to check out the VOD. Thank you, Joe. So I'm just coming into the shoulders of the piece, trying to kind of get it positioned just so. Oh, I don't know. We lose it. Bye, Sherry. Have a great rest of your day. Hey, Jean. Yeah, we stream every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. And we also post shop updates every Monday and new tutorials every Sunday. So for, I think, almost since October. Yep, I can do Thursday. Yeah, it's a battle of getting a few hours before noon or staying awake into the afternoon and getting a few hours before having to head to work. You've lost me at the a few hours part. Like, I'm like 9 hours. Oh, Michelle says I'm currently working on flower arrangements for my tiny flower pots for my fairy garden areas. Oh, Michelle, that sounds so cute. Oh, Jean says, are you selling cabs in that shape? Not currently. These are cabochons that were provided to us by the client, and I'm going to wrap them. I'm very excited about that. So, baking it till you make it. That's my favorite way. Wow. So I'm going to be very careful, and I'm just kind of, I'd say inching, but an inch is too big. Just very, very tiny little movement to bend that wire in. And then I'm going to take this here again, and I'm going to bend. And to get symmetry on this, I want to be applying pressure here and then here. So it's, if I were pinching here and then pinching here, we'd have gotten a different shape. And even then, there's always little differences and things that happen, and that's okay, but we're just shooting for more symmetrical. And now let's try to keep that nice and flat. And so I do like to kind of come in. Let me bend these up just a little. Using the flat side of my pliers and the flat side of my table, I'm just pressing that. And that way, it's still sitting where we want it to. Kristen says, folks show me a picture and say, can you do this? I say, are you willing to let me try? That's how I force myself to learn a new technique. That's a good way of doing it. Jean says, so are you doing custom work now? Kind of. This is our first piece of custom work that we've taken on since my hand injury. And if folks are interested in more custom work, they're welcome to send us an email with a description of what they're interested in, a budget that they'd like to stay within. And then we can just kind of work and do a design from there. If it's something that I don't feel up to, or if we're not currently open, then we'll kind of, we're just getting folks queued up because I don't want to take a massive custom work. I'm going to take one project, complete it, take the next project, complete it, take the next project, complete it. That way, hopefully I don't get overwhelmed. And if I find myself where I'm not keeping up with completing the custom work in a reasonable amount of time, then I can stop taking customs without having to complete a backlog. Hey Al, gold prospecting, how goes it? Okay, so now I'm going to experiment with wrapping up. And it's not, the stone is not being supported on the back side currently, so it could pop through, but we're going to be addressing that. Nylon jaw pliers are nice for keeping the wires flat, that's true. I just wanted to get that whole length like straight. So now I'm going to do a very similar thing on the front. And so I've removed my stone and I'm getting my pliers on there. And I just want to be careful that my pliers don't slip, but let's pay attention to the placement of my first finger here on this one. And I'm pressing in. And then I'm placing my thumb just opposite to where my first finger was. Now there's going to be a little bit of a difference because my thumb and finger are not shaped the same, but this is part of this is our actual and literal fingerprint on our work. So don't feel like something's wrong if it is the way that it is. That's just how it is. Okay, let's see if we can slide this in. There's not quite enough space, so what I'm going to do is I'm coming in from behind and I'm pressing my fingers, kind of cupping there, and I'm pressing forward from the inside. Okay, so I'm going to open this up just a little bit. I'm going to grab this and just kind of open it. So we can always smush it down a little bit. I just don't want to be scratching up such a nice stone. And just little tweaks to get it to fit how I'd like. And sometimes you don't know how you want something to fit. Whenever I was very new to wire wrapping, I didn't know what I was aiming for. And I think it's a really good stained the outside, I think, tashers. I think it's a really good way to just get some experience, find out what you do like, what you don't like, what you're capable of. You just got to start playing with the wire and just have fun with it and let go of any expectations, any pursuit for perfection, and to let yourself be that messy, fun, new at the beginning of a craft. So that's how, kind of only find your way by walking it. Yes, these cabochons are fluorite. They're a rainbow fluorite. Oh, well, thanks, Jean. Bye, what you know. Have a great day at work. So this is the sketch that I had done in wire for like kind of the shape and curve of the cap, like shape and curve of the wire around the cap rather. So from here, I think I'm going to go ahead and set the stone back down because we can see where the center line is. And we'll come directly up from the center line, and I'm just going to bend straight up. I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to grab there, and then I'm going to bend straight up. But yeah, I think for the next like couple of months, instead of, we're still going to be doing our weekly tutorials, but I think in our live streams is where I'm going to be wrapping the custom pieces, because it's very difficult to make a tutorial be complete and comprehensive around something that I don't necessarily know how long it's going to take, and I'm kind of experimenting more. So we'll kind of figure it out and see where it goes. I know I can't make everyone happy, but I can make me happy, and this is something I'm excited about. So thank you all for being here to share it with me. Okay. Whoop. Yeah, it's certainly under enough tension that it keeps wanting to like scooch the stone back up and out. And it's just making me wonder about which side I should have be the front, because now I've bent it and it seems like the corners aren't lining Hey, Cat's Corner, how's it going? Anytime, Dashers. And if your corner just is not lining up anymore, that's okay. We can take this. We're going to straighten it. I'm going to push our wire up just a smidge, and I'm going to bend it again. Hopefully it'll fit this time. I'm going to stop this time. Jean says, sorry to beat a dead horse, so to say. Do you have a schedule as to all the times that you are on now, or do I need to rewind? I do, Jean. It's on our website, backtoearthcreations.com. It's at the very bottom of the homepage. There's a full calendar of our events that I hopefully have the times up for. I should. I had it booked up to the end of Anime St. Louis. Yeah, this is our fully accurate. The times, I think I dropped the videos at like 11 a.m., but the live stream times are accurate. So, and that's right there on the website. The wrapping of bales are still my problem. Same. We can do it together. We'll get through this. So I'm going to get the bale started. But see, now it's like very wide. So I'm going to need to redo my bale bends, which again is okay. We just flatten it and then come back just a smidge and bend and then test fit. And then we're going to come here and we're going to bend it back out straight. And then we're going to come in and we're going to bend. And then we're going to test fit. Yep, the old where the heck am I going to put these 8 wires now issue. All right, that's good enough. It's not perfect, but it doesn't need to be. And honestly, I don't even know what's not perfect about it. I guess it's not as absolutely brutally snug as it could be, but I don't know if the stone needs that. So it actually gives me a little bit of wiggle room to remove the stone. So now we can come through, and I'm going to use a little bit of this scrap 21 gauge half round. And I'm going to begin. We'll try something new. Hey, Mary Hart, how's it going? So glad to see you guys are safe. I'm on break at work. I was thinking of you during the storms. Are you all right? Did you all make it through okay? Okay, so I've got that wire tucked up, but kind of pushed out of frame, kind of pushed to the left. And then I'm going to sandwich it between these 2 pieces. And then I want to get in real nice and snug. And start wrapping up and around. Providing a lot of resistance as we lean into that wire. So there's 4. And with these being all square wires, they should sit quite comfy and snug together. Oh, that is so crispy. Okay. Well, it ended up popping up the bottom anyways, but getting to experiment, that's okay. I'm not a jewelry guru, Lydia. Like, please don't put me on a pedestal. I'm just a regular, like, I am using the 21 gauge square from Parawire. I'm using the 21 gauge half round. And I may be using 28 gauge titanium round. Okay, so now from here, with it being an earring, it's going to have a little bit of dangle to it. So I kind of want the same thing on both sides. And I think that's a great way of kind of dealing with it whenever we have a pendant as well. So let's see, I'm going to isolate the furthest back two. Yeah, that should be all right. And then I'm going to isolate these two on the other side. Okay, I think I'm going to make our bail out of this one. Like that's a little shorter. No, I'm going to do another long one because I do want to give myself a little bit more space maybe than what I need. And this one, I don't know if I should do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim these kind of short. Ooh, like 1/4 inch. And I'm going to fold them down the side. Very crispy, very nice and tight. And then just very carefully trying to get that folded. And that's probably one of my favorite things about this 21 gauge is it's not super bulky, but now we get to play the game of trying to shave away a little on one side and a little on the other to get them to match. And I think that'll be just fine. If it could have been butted to here instead of having that little bit of a gap, that'd have been really cool, but that might work out to be perfect. So now we have these two wires coming off towards the front, and these are going to be what we make the bail. So just taking our half round wire and just twisting it around. Oh, I was supposed to be doing this one and then the other, huh? Well, maybe y'all can help me remember how I did it on the next one. And I'm thinking about, is it Shanika had said that she wishes she had the courage to stream? Live streaming and teaching, wrapping, and any of the crafts that it is that I do are my personal favorite way of learning. Like I learned so much just by sharing ideas and thoughts and things with y'all and then hearing what y'all have to say. Like I learn about new materials and techniques. So there's a lot of joy in that I would highly recommend to anyone. You know, again, if you have it in your heart to want to craft and want to live stream or, you know, connect with other people online, it's a lot of fun. Okay, so I folded that around and I'm going to slide it down And they don't quite line up. So I'm going to trim this one. Just trimming a bit off that way. If you think of them as like little ends of a ribbon, you want the ends. Whoop! Oh, that was perfect. See how they like lined up like that? And then that's how it looks on the front. All right, on Erica. A little snippy snip, and the wire goes here, and we got you covered. Yeah. Hey, Sharon. Shanika says, I could do it, I think. I used to be a teacher. Oh my God, yes. I think the world always benefits from people joyfully teaching the things that they know to others. Well, hey, Jettison. How's it going? What's up? Hey, Misty. Oh, Jettison says, do you have any tips for novices? Specifically at wire wrapping, or like, is there a particular craft, or are you just kind of getting started and finding your own way? Because I've always been interested in everything all at once, all of the time. Just crafting in general. Just start doing it. Like, which sounds ridiculously oversimplified, but the like, let's say your first craft that you get into is chainmail, because quite frankly, for 2 pliers and a $25 pack of rings, you can be making stuff. Now, I would recommend throwing in like some clasps so you can actually close your work. But chainmail is such an excellent pendant and everything. Is such an excellent introduction to crafting, because even if you don't like chainmail, having those jump rings is going to come in handy for all sorts of different things. You can attach stuff to key rings, like if you wanted to get into like resin casting. So I guess the first question a person should ask themselves when they're wanting to get into it is, do you want to make something to go with an outfit for the Ren Fair? Are you looking for gifts for friends and family? Are you looking for, like, do you have a project in particular in mind? Because we're spoiled for choice. We have access to learning how to do almost everything in the whole world, and that can be paralyzing in and of itself. There's so much stuff. I don't even have tools yet. That's pick something and just get started in, because you never know where it's going to take you, and it's those first steps that are the scariest, I think, and the hardest to do. That the first step off of the edge into the murky abyss, into something new, is always at least a little daunting, to me at least. What? Jettison says, I kind of had a dumb idea, no such thing, of making the sunny one from One Piece and putting it in a whiskey bottle. I think I would start, that does sound like a pretty daunting first project, but I think I would start with just making the sunny one, or like, because that sounds like something that, is this going to be major spoilers? I'm only on episode like 28 of One Piece, so. Thousand Sunny. So like the ship? Oh my God, is that not just the head from the Ichigo's like stuffed animal from Bleach? Oh boy. So it's the ship though. Yeah, there could be like shipbuilding kits or something. Yeah, it is. Don't look. Oh no! I'd asked a question and then didn't check for the answer. It's my own fault. Joe says, speaking as one who has done that journey, wire wrapping and chainmail are great entry points to jewelry. The tool requirements are minimal and the materials are readily available. Nice. Said Pepe. It okay. It okay. Fortunately, I have the memory of an ADHD goldfish, so I don't have to worry about. I'll see it and be like, "Oh, there's that thing." Hey, Mama K, what's up? Okay. Distracted. So let's see. I'm going to get to this point, and then I think I'm going to stop because that's where the symmetry is going to need to happen. So don't fall down the goldsmithing rabbit hole unless you have a lot of disposable income. Yeah. That's the goal, though. I'd love to have a lot of disposable income. Let me count the ways. So I'm going to get us to, that's 1.25 inches of bail that we've, that's probably going to be too much. But I can always just slide it off there. So we'll see. Setting that off to the side, setting it with its stone, and now we can start on the other one. Hey, Amazing Amy says, hello everyone. I see we are wrapping some pretties today. Oh yes. Ooh, Mama K says, could you do a tutorial on wire wrapping a hummingbird, butterfly, or dragonfly to fill with resin? Ah, that's actually what we're going to be doing for June. Like, let me find my tablet so I can show you guys. Oh, it's probably a time for a little stretch break anyways. Okay, so for May, this is the project for this month. But for June, we're going to be showing y'all how to do, I was going to try to do like print out cicada wings on like translucent like sticker paper, and then that way then we could use UV resin to fill that in and kind of incorporate it into the wire wrapping. So, but even if you don't have that, you could do it with wire or something. But yeah, so that's the color schemes, and we're going to be giving folks a lamproyd glass bead, and kind of getting it figured out. Now, I have not made this design yet, but we'll hopefully get it figured out. What is disposable income? I don't know. It's I guess at the end of the month of your budget, it's stuff that hasn't been allotted. Like, this is my definition. It's whatever we have at the end of the month that didn't get spent on foods, bills, or other obligations. So Nicholas says, I think on this I would have made them truly asymmetrical so it doesn't look like you didn't make them at the same time. Well, they're earrings, so I was gonna try to make them a little more matchy since the stones are already slightly different sizes. But and it's mostly just for some of the, and I'm gonna try to like mirror mode them. So but that's just based on the conversations I'd had with the client, or at least what I remember of it. My mother does quilts and she has a ton of stuff. She made me a nice Rogue One quilt. Oh, that's cool. So actually, I'm just gonna say, I'd have your mom like help you make a quilt, like maybe a quilt pillow or something, just to start getting into crafting, because you never know what you're gonna love until right, Tashers. Ooh, freeze and fuse. Right on, Annette. I could use a whole lot more practice and work with it. Okay, so just getting our wire kind of bent into shape. Bending that in a little tighter. Very cool. Sorry, I don't mean to keep wandering out of frame. Let's get some water. All right on, Mama Kay. Oh. I'd love to help guide you on those projects. Okay. So now let's see. Picking up my wire. Y'all, okay, so I guess I'm allergic to mangoes, but we have this box of mangoes that we got at Sam's Club, and they are delicious. But my mouth is all like itchy, and also like my arms are swelling up, like because I keep eating mangoes, but they're delicious, and I like discipline. So that's what's going on with me lately. How are you today? Sherry says, you never know what craft will grab you. I draw the line at textiles, but I do step over it by using fabric to wrap books. Right on. There's 4 and 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10. And half a one to grow on. That way it finishes on the back. Just as if you live in a humid climate or by the sea, the rust fight is never ending. Yeah. Yeah. The humidity in Missouri is not as bad as it was when we lived in Tennessee. The humid's still humid. Nice. Thank you for the follow, Two-Tone. Fun. Do you have any ideas on how to clean up my steel blocks? Look like rust, but never been in weather or water. Help, any suggestions? I just leave mine rusty. But Joe had said for the steel block, you can use sandpaper on a flat surface to remove the rust. Then protect it with a thin coat of mineral oil. So thank you, Joe. That's a really great definition of what I probably should do. But yeah, I just leave mine rusty. So I'm a monster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, I'll wipe things down with gosh, I think I had like a greasy like WD-40 rag, and I just wiped down that stuff. So if you keep stuff wiped down when you put it away to store, that really helps. Mama K says, I loved your wire wrapping tutorials as of late because I can watch it, then go back and follow along with it as I'm learning wire wrapping. Nice. Yeah. Oh, and the soft steel wool. I love steel wool. Like, I hate it, but I love it. So this one, I'm gonna be a little naughty. I'm gonna do it a little different. I can't help myself. So I'm gonna come in before doing the shoulder bends because I don't want to make any like complications for myself. Ooh, that was bent way too much. Need to put it back a bit. That way I've got room for this side to get bent in. Get bent. There we are. That'll be the back side. Ooh, Erica says, I keep those silicone humidity packs in my drawers like you get in the shoe boxes. Oh, right on. Let me say it's helped. Good. Better Bead. Misty says, Erica, that is a great idea. I save all of those little packets for someday. Hoarding pro tip: if you hoard your silicone packets in the same drawer that you hoard some of your craft tools, it's doing double duty. Hey Douglas, how's it going? Okay, so we've got that there, we've got that there. Let's do the front one. But yeah, earlier on in my wire wrapping journey, I definitely would have never just finished an end just by snipping it. I'd have been like, we have to put a spiral on it because I love spirals. But I got brave watching Oksana Crafts because she just like wraps it and tucks it and it's good to go. And it really holds up. It truly does. Good morning, Laura. How's it going? Oof, I want a cup of coffee. That'd be so good. I'm looking Ooh, Rachel says love from Connecticut. Question: do you still use bare copper? I do. I'm using bare copper right now, actually, on the because it's the only size of the 21 gauge square that I have. And I'm really, really hopeful that the client will enjoy it. But I think it'll go beautiful, like with her hair and just everything. Okay, so now that we've done those, now we can place the shoulder bends, and they should hopefully be where they're supposed to be this time. Doing a little bendy bend. And if I'm lining up my stone to see where to bend it, I've got my pliers butted against it, and I'm just going to come out just a little bit. And bend. Someday has arrived. You now have a use for the silicone packet gels. Hoarding achievement unlocked. Ooh, I love it. So even though the stones are different shapes, I'm aiming for getting them to be the same kind of rough about size and external shape. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of guess and shoot in the dark, because if I gooby it up again, we'll just rebend it, I suppose. Ooh, Cat and Cauldron says I keep my wire in Ziploc bags with some silicone gel packs in each bag. Nice. Ooh, Misty says I love spirals too, but the crisp, clean lines of this style really appeals to me. Right on. It's the obstacle is the way, and I love spirals, and I'm very comfortable in spiral land, but I am enticed and lured into the realm of Krispy Kreme, minimalist, like sleek designs, because they're so challenging. And I don't want to do what it is that I do because that's all I can do. I want to do what I do because I'm drawn to it and passionate about it, and you know, all that good stuff. It's looking good. And this one's actually holding really well also. So I'm really glad that it's coming out the way it's coming out. Well, hot dog. My mouth's all itchy. I'm going to have to put on some chips. Clean is hard to do well because it's easy to see any mistakes. Yeah. That's a good point. All right, y'all. It has been an hour and 40 minutes. I'm going to take a quick run to refill my water. I will be right back. I'm going to leave the microphone here with y'all. Like cue, I don't know, Jeopardy music or something. So I'll be right back, y'all. I am back. Hello, fellow humans. Ooh, I live within a mile or so from a river and the Pacific Ocean, so the struggle with humidity and tarnish isn't real. Yeah, that's the trade-off, though, I guess. That sounds amazing. Oh, hey, Tara. How's it going? Tara says, I'm making rings without spirals or only little ones. I've had people complain about them getting stuck in their hair. I'll show you a trick that I've started using that can help a little bit with the spirals, because rings are just tricky. Even this ring, it'll snag some of my hair and stuff. So hair just does that, it seems. And Michelle says, yeah, true, my rings and such that have spirals do get stuck on things from time to time. Okay, so now we're going to take this long piece that we've cut off, which is about 14 inches. So let's see how much of this we use. I've let the stone kind of relax out. I don't know if I should, though, because this one fits much more snugly than the other. So on this one, I'm going to experiment with having a lot of that tail wire going up. Like kind of in between all of the things. But I am in fear, my worry here on this is that it's going to be preventing my two halves of square wire from joining together well. And that's very important. Whoops, yeah, I'm going to leave the stone out. I don't want to risk anything. Trim off that gnarly bit. Okay, so again, I'm bending around, and it's just coming around that way. If you can see how that wire is poking out. And then I just want to make sure that I wrap like that. And then before we cross over, I'm going to just get in there and really snip. 2, 3, I'm counting the wraps on the front. I'll go ahead and give that a squish. Maybe. And bend this wire. Sometimes my half round wire It's a little weird on me, but alright, but okay. Okay, and now we're gonna smush that. There we are. 1, 2, 3. I'm actually gonna take my nylon gel pliers. All right. Well, thank you, Cat and Cauldron. We may take you up on that. That'd be certainly would cut down on the hotel expenses for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, that was 6. Okay. So I'd like to stop at 5 because that's how many we have on the other one. And now I do need to be careful that I do stay true to which side is the front on this one. Ah, and that was perfect for just sliding the cab right back in. So now from here, I'm going to take the frontmost wires from each side. And I'm just coming around the front like that, trying to keep that nestled in. These first couple in that tight right angle, or that tight angle, are tricky because I don't want to get my wire twisted, but it'll be okay. 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't know why I'm counting 7. I just like counting. 8. Smush. 9 and 10. I'm just getting that smushed, and then we're going to do a little squish. Oh, yes. Ah! I feel good. Herp derp. Herp derp. Herp derp doo boo. Okay, I must be gentle and patient to get this stone in there. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. Excellent. Oh, I love it. Ah, heck. No, it's good. Oh, I put it in backwards. Okay, that's okay. Oh, so I did the face wrong? No. Ah, goober butt. Okay. So now I'm just gonna... I've gotten turned around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to smush these wires in to make them nice and flat to the back. So I've come to the edge of my table so that my bail wires can hang off. And now oh, I'm afraid this may not work. We'll see. Because of the changed angle. Actually. Okay, it's more important to me that the stone sits happily than that the bales are exactly the same. So we'll see what we can accomplish with getting the bales to try to match, even though one of them is like flipped backwards. Though it is not too late, but I really don't. Most of the time with parawire, I don't mind uncoiling and then straightening it back out unless it's half round. It is such a pain. So this is just life now. So I'm just gonna wrap this around like that. And I think I'm going to slide off the excess because these are just earrings, so they don't need a whole bail. They just need a loop for us to be able to do the attachment rings. Right on, we do it. Not me making bond noises. That's just crafter noises. Crafting noises intensify. And don't worry, y'all, we're going to be getting into the hand sewing with wire part of the project any second. Spiraling that around, getting the length to be, oh, I've overshot it. Ooh, only by a little though. So I'm just going to undo 1, 2, and 3. Giving that a snip, giving that a squish. Now these back two, on this one, I'm going to splay open. I'm going to trim. I can just feel people commenting in the replay that they're angry that I'm out of frame, that there's too many pictures on the screen. I'm sorry, but thank you for leaving a comment. Ooh, Christina says, been a pleasure to listen while beading with memorial beads. Gotta go to a meeting. Bye, Christina. Mwah. Have a great rest of your day. Okay, so we've gotten that folded down. Ooh, and we're just squishing it. And then coming through. I'm going to give it a little bit of a trim. So I'm going to leave that same gap on this one. So I'm coming like following that wire line across. Ooh, the dishwasher's done. Since the power went out last night, we didn't run the dishwasher, but good now. This one's a pretty deep stone, so I'm going to bring this forward just a little more because I want it to hug around the front nice and securely. Now also we can come in and I'm going to set my stone on the table. I'm going to have to kind of come off to the edge here for a minute. I'm just using the nylon side of my nylon jaw pliers to kind of be a bezel roller. And that's to bring those pointy uppy parts again to where it's hugging the stone. And so on both of these, I'm going to cut at a little bit of an angle, so it's a little less of a jagged. If you can see how it's not a squared off tip anymore. And if we want to keep that nice and flat, well, I don't have a file over here, but we could file that down, but it is going to be covered in other wire momentarily. These are fluorite stones, Jean. And they're just gorgeous. Okay, so now we're going to come to where we're just splitting these, 2 off to one side and 2 off to the other. And I'm going to do that on both sides. But doing that snip, we could do that to all of them, except for the bale wire, and then just bring it around and be done. And that may be what we do as a tutorial because anything that I figure out in these live streams, for those of y'all watching this in the replay and are frustrated that it's a live stream and not a tutorial, please subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell. Or if you don't want to do that, sign up for our free newsletter at backtoearthcreations.com, because whatever techniques and designs we develop in these live streams, we will be making tutorials of in our Sunday tutorials. So it is my goal to be helpful to y'all, but this is my crafting time that I freely and willingly share with y'all. So please, don't be rude to me in the comments. Like, it just, y'all make me tired sometimes. Like, I'm tired of getting yelled at. Okay, so I'm gonna splay this out so it's flat so that I can put my right here. Hey Jan, is it Jean or Jan? Hello, regardless of how to pronounce your name. Hello and welcome to the chat. So I'm just bringing that around, and now we're gonna open it up just a little bit. I agree, Sherry. And we're just gonna feed it through, and then one side's gonna go off to one side, and one side's gonna go off to the other. And this is where I really like to use my pliers, and I do like to keep my stick mandrel in here because it gives me something to resist against that is not distorting my wrap. Like my bail's staying the correct shape. Like everything's looking pretty good. So I'm just bringing that through, and I want to sit those two wires kind of in the crack there. Hey, pretty kitty. And now where we want to cut on here is right before this wire. Well, it's just as much yelling as what a person can do in comments, but it's just like I still get folks who are like, hate the music, like on videos from like 8 years ago, and it's like, oh, okay, thank you, I guess. Like, just thanks. It's okay. Instead, I'm going to be grateful that at least people are still watching my videos from 8 years ago. So I've snipped that, and I'm just bringing it in with a little squishy smush. Now on this side, the bail was leaning like nice over to it. Whoops. Yeah, it just says, thank you for the engagement. You helped me reach more people with my horrible music, right? Oh, I love that. And so now we can take this and we can kind of scooch that a little more centered. If there's any little pokey outy bits, we can trim them. So that's how that's coming along. And then I do believe I used the thickest part of my stick mandrel. Yep. Which I probably could have gone with thinner, but this will be fine. And so now I'm just shaping this around. And I want to get a nice little bit of a bend so that we can feed that through the middle. Or call Auntie Laura and I'll open a can. I'll keep that in mind. Thank y'all. Y'all are so kind and supportive. Thank you for hearing me vent. And so now from here, you can kind of just bend around. There we go. Yeah, I really like getting in there and just, but it's never quite as crispy as if I do it with my pliers. Oh, I do hope so, Michelle. I'm hoping I'm getting the details right, and I really hope that they're not going to be too heavy. So with these ones, since I didn't booger it up, but they're not completely symmetrical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim with about 3 or 4 millimeters towards the front. There we go. And I'm going to squish and press that towards the back. I think that is my preferred way of terminating this. Because that way the little bit of tag end of the wire is tucked inside again. Nice. And then we can get in there and squish and get in there and squish. Oh, I love it. Perfect. And now we're going to come around. We get to do the swirly part, and I'm going to practice on the swirlies on the backs first. No. I honestly, Tara, I do try to not give them the time of day, but sometimes I'm just a little like haunted by it. And ring. So I'm just going to bring this around, and I'm going to do a little curly cue like that. And we're going to grab our 28 gauge. And I like to give myself about 2 feet. That's way more than what I need, but it's what I like to do. And I'm going to give myself a little bit of a tail. Well, hey, what's up, baby? Yeah? I love you. You're a good girl. Yes, you are. And I'm going to do at least 10 wraps. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now again, with this being an earring, I'm not super digging how bulky that makes it over on the side, but I don't know that there's any helping that. But we could do a nice little crispy bend. Or we'll just let it be what it is. Whew. How much chainmail? It's too much chainmail. Asking for a friend. When your hands hurt, give it a rest. Okay, so we have those 10, and now I'm going to grab our round nose pliers, and then I'm going to grab as close to the tip of the wire and as close to the tip to the pliers as I can, and we're going to make a nice little closed loop because I don't want it tangling in anyone's hair. And then we're going to find the very distant loose end of our wire. And I like to give it enough of like a little hook shape that I can just hook it through right here. Grab and pull through. Keeping that wire over the little loop that we've made. And there is one. So there's one. And I like to try to get it kind of in there, but I want to open that back up just for a bit. because that's going to make it so much easier to just fit our wire in. I'd like to do at least 3 connections with this wraparound. So there's one full one, so I can see it on the front. Thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Was there a troll today? No, I go through like every day almost, and I try to keep up with comments on YouTube. And it's not always the best way to start my day, because like I don't want to close my heart off to all of everybody's kindness. And everything. So I go in with an open heart, and then it's just sometimes folks will just be however it is they're gonna be that day. And it just bums me out because I take it personally sometimes when I shouldn't. And so now I'm gonna do 10 on just this one wire frame. There's 2. It was so fun. I'm replacing the internet reality with the reality I've experienced in person, of getting to meet y'all at the craft along or the camp along, getting to hang out with folks in the booth, and getting to do this here in the live streams. That's really nice. But sometimes to dig myself up out of a negative spiral, I have to like very actively and consciously focus on the good things, because those dark clouds will try to put that gray pall over everything. Oh, goodness. Oh, Kristen says, just booked my second wedding of the year. Nice. Oh, and Jean says, my daughter is 3 years older than you and has to have surgery on her hands for carpal tunnel. Oh, goodness. I hope her surgery goes well and does what she needs it to do. Barfus says, usually those trolls have a terrible day, so for every troll you should be very sorry and happy because you have a better day. Yeah. And I wish it were always easy to keep a good mindset, but I think that's one of the greatest struggles sometimes is keeping my chin up. When in doubt, craft it out. So I've lost count, but we're going to do a few more. Well, bye, Sharon. Thank you so much for your kindness. You have a great rest of your day and have fun on your errands. I'm not going to be putting any stones in the top because it's getting covered with the spiraling. It says it's kind of like the real life trolls that come to craft shows. It's hard to not dwell on it sometimes. That is true. Okay. Feeling pretty good about that. We're going to get in there and we're going to snip off that last little bit of wire and make sure there's no pokey bits. And then we're going to get in there and we're going to snip off the last bit of that wire. Walk right on. Yeah, Shanika says, I think that's my hesitancy to live stream. Negative comments might trigger your depression. Yeah, and well, I feel like it's, for me personally, it's something that I battle with. And some days I'm winning, and some days the other guy's winning. But it's still a fight worth fighting. And the good things that have come from live streaming have certainly outweighed and overshadowed any of the negative. One, two, three, four, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, Itzy, how's it going? Ah, Kristen says, I want to live stream while decorating cakes and cookies, but the cookies take so long to do and you have to wait between layers. I feel like I would babble too much. Ah, the babbling's the fun part. Oh, Rachel, that's wise advice. Always remember it's not about you, it's always a reflection of the person who offends us. That's the way I dismiss unhappy people. Like, I never want to be dismissive, but it is important to have boundaries. I think I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and just let it be what it is. Oh, it says I wasn't winning today. Thankfully, I had this stream to lift me up. Oh, I'm glad for that too, it. Oh, Itzy says, great, thanks. Are you on Kick too? Didn't get a notification. Yep, we're on Kick as well. Now, I think I'm going to use up quite a bit more of this one, actually, because I want like it to be coiled all the way up. That way it makes that little section look a little bit more interesting. And squish. And if you ever get any buckles in your coiling, like that piece there, what I like to do when I see that is I'll hold on to, whoops, my coil, and then I'll just kind of loosely cinch down. I hope that makes sense. Hey, Bonnie, how's it going? Then let's coil some more. The way to avoid that is to try to keep your coils nice and tight together side by side. And then we're just going to thread that around town. Around town. Encouraging that up and around. Ah, that looks cool. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. And so I'm going to try to sneak my wire through right here. Whoops, there we are. And then using my thumb to kind of press and pull through. So there's one. Ah, it came through. What a blessing. Oh, but it's not around the wire. That's okay. We can fix that. Go. Uh-oh. But now it's on the wrong side. I'm on the wrong side. I'm wrapping 3 stones for this person. 2 are for an earring set, and then 1 is just a pendant. Oh, I think I'm going to have to pull that back out. That's okay. So even though this wire is thin, having just that one connection right here is better than having none. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Smush. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Smushing it down. I'm going to trim that off. We're going to smush that in. And I'm going to trim right there. And we are going to spiral this in. So there's that. And now it is fully supported from the back. And we can try to do our thing up here in the front. So I'm just bringing that around, and I'm going to encourage this up into a little bit of a spiral. And then I'm going to continue around with our second wire piece. Well, thank you, reduce it. Thank you, Lydia. Oh, I love it. Oh, that makes me so happy. Oh, I want a cup of coffee. And I wanted a cup of coffee for like 40 minutes. Ow, my shoulder hurts. Wow. I'm just so complainy today. I'm so sorry, guys. Randy's been listening to me bitch all morning. Harump about this, rumble about that. And then I was doing yoga and like reached over funny and like pinched something in my shoulder. Okay. Oh. All right, let's go get a cup of coffee, y'all. I'm gonna take y'all with me, at least with the audio. I got some leftover coffee in the pot from this morning. Taking the coffee out of the pot. Ooh, I don't know where my coffee cup is, so I'll just grab a fresh. Ooh, I'm gonna use my friendship cup from Christina. Love the colors. Gonna put the coffee in the cup and I mix it all up. Oh, this is just gonna be a little cup of coffee. Oh, I got some coffee in the fridge. Maybe. Yes, hello. It's cold for iced coffee, but I really want a hot cup. So I'm just gonna microwave some cold brew coffee. Alright, and the little like plate is all jank. Come on, jank plate. There we go. Okie dokie. Let's come back in. I'll come back whenever I hear. Hopefully, I'll hear it beat. We can get a little bit more weaving done. Ooh, Eccentric Art says I got off caffeine. It makes me moody, but dandelion tea is amazing. Right on. Do you make that with the roots or the leaves or the flowers or all of it? Itzy says I had a nap for 2 hours. I don't normally sleep in the day. Ooh, I hope, was that a good nap? I like the experience of drinking the cup of coffee more than the actual caffeine. Randy's off upstairs doing his own thing. I have lost the end of my wire. Uh-oh. Let me push back on that loose end. There we are. Excellent. I'm going to pull off like another, let's do like 3 feet. Ooh, Kumahimo? Oh, I didn't see Dee Dee come in. Where my Dee Dee at? This is fun, creative part, taking care of your wire ends. Yes. Hey Dee Dee. Hi Yvonne, I'm still working on the craft room supplies and tools. Meanwhile, I'm trying to learn Kumahimo with a plethora of donated embroidery threads. I'm 16. I'm braiding a 16 warp while watching. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to start here on this inner wire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just 5 coils. And what I mean by inner is on where it's emerging from in the spiral. Oh, I heard my coffee beep. Okay, I'll be right back, y'all. I'm leaving the microphone with you this time now. Alrighty. Bye, Sherry. Thanks so much for hanging. Oh, bye, Sherry. Thanks so much for hanging out. Oh my God, words are so hard. Oh, we do. It says, "Will you be kidnapping Maddie again this summer?" Yes, and I'm very excited and kind of like because this is our last summer before she graduates high school, and then there's no telling what the future holds. But we're here to be supportive to her and to cheer her on, to be helpful in any way that we can. So I'm going to try my best to cherish every moment as best I can. Oh, it's almost like that is freshly microwaved hot coffee. All right. But yeah, it's the centermost, the inner wire is coming in there. And that's going to give us a nice smooth edge because there's not going to be like, I'm always thinking about where my little loose bitty, like my loose bits, little bits and pieces are going to be flopping about because I don't want just little pokey uppy bits getting snagged on skin or clothing. Today I'm wrapping 2 rainbow fluorite pieces. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a figure 8 weave. And so there's 1 and 2. And so I can almost bend that forward just a little bit to get our wire in there a little more easily. 1, and that'll be our 2. Then 1, wrapping around, 2, 1, and wrapping around for 2, 2, there's 1. And I like to do that stabilizing stitch. Now we do have a master class on a figure 8 weave where you're making like a heart, so it follows the curve around. Eccentric Art says random commercial during live, is that normal? It seems to be the new normal. I thought I had it selected to not have mid-roll ads, but YouTube seems to be placing them anyways. But we are streaming over on kick.com, kick.com/BackToEarthCreations. So if y'all don't like the ads, you can see the same exact stream over on Kick. It is free to join. It's just a place that typically you'll actually get notified whenever we go live. So whereas YouTube can be kind of hit and miss, but yeah, we're using a rainbow fluorite today. Again, I really like this little piece of foam for showing off the color of the stone. Two, then 1, 2, 3. Just trying to keep everything nice and snug and side by side. Okay. So I think I'm going to come in with just a little bit of the tail end of this wire because I want to do something to stabilize this corner just a little bit more. And you know, I think the wire here, I'm going to set that piece I just cut off to the side. Okay. So I am going to try to just coil this down and around to fill in the remainder of that gap. There we are. Steady as she goes. I put my thumb on it to keep the wire so that I can wrap it and it'll just hook right underneath. So it's making very minuscule progress, but it'll get there. I'm doing the figure 8 just enough to fill in that gap. And then we'll be doing some spirals at the top. Because if I had, I don't think I have enough of this wire to be able to do a bend there. But otherwise, I would have really loved to have been able to just do this. Kind of following that edge, you know? This is the point in the project where I let go of my expectations of what I thought it was going to be. And I just keep going and see what happens. Ooh, Michelle says those two metal tones just work beautifully with that stone. I'm really digging it. Like, I think it would have been beautiful in like a straight silver as well. But I love the silver and the copper. Oops. I did a few too many, so I'm just going to backtrack our work. There we go. And then this one, we're going to be in a similar situation as before, to where whatever wrap I do right here, it's going to kind of be built up, where it's going to be really tricky to get around it for the next one that comes through. So we're just going to do the one, keeping any of the kinks from developing in our wire. Right on. Eccentric said had to put you on the big screen to see what you're doing better. But hopefully, I am doing my best to stay into frame, so hopefully that'll help too. Because it keeps trying to get stuck up into that corner. So if I just put my thumbnail in the way, then it gets us where we're going. And now we've got that little connection point. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'm going to snip. We have some excess there, so I'm actually going to take that and kind of squish it around into the back. Trimming off a bit of excess. And bringing that in, whoops, dropping my pliers into a nice